Who Are You? Audiobook by Driven Bone. Yes, it's him speaking. You know, welcome back, everyone. And if it's your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe. Your subscription really helped me more in this journey of YouTube and growth also. And now let's get to the audiobook. Guys, we normally get this question all the time. Who are you? It's either in a new environment, meeting new friends, new school, new workplace, like everywhere. And it comes back to the answer. How do you answer this question? You know, who are you? Is it the name you were given when you were born? Is it you and the skill set you have? Maybe, for example, you are a photographer, and let's say they ask you, who are you? I'm Theo, I'm a photographer. Like, it's not really in full detail, and I feel like people don't get this question well, of who are you, because even me, myself, and I wonder, like, if someone could ask me, who am I? Like, for the most years I've lived on earth, uh, I've always answered this question by my name and backed up by a few of the things that I do, which is my skill set. Like, surely my people in my channel are kind of confused. Like, they don't know what kind of niche do I want to do or what's up. But over it all, I could tell you guys, I'm versatile. You know, since me, I noticed that no one actually knows who they really are until they are entitled to something, and which will dis- determine them, like, that they are what they're entitled to. For example, let's say the top 1 billionaire on earth, they wouldn't say his history of being the billionaire, but his name, you understand? So his name is entitled to what he had achieved through living or whatever business that made him those billions. You understand? For example, let's take Elon Musk. Nobody doesn't know Elon Musk, yeah, because of he had done wonders, like he's still doing wonders, like outreaching his limits and setting himself no limit at all. And now let's turn that to me. You understand? Who am I? I wouldn't say I'm Theo Titus Tupai because it's names and surname that I was given when I was born. You understand? And being born, I really didn't have a choice but to carry up that name, because my parents chose to give me that names, and they had a profound purpose why and how, you understand? Because till this day, I could see the reason why my mom named me Theo. And when we go back on research, like I made my homework, I made research about the name, and the name it's more of a pronoun or similar to a god, But don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying I'm a god or anything, but all I can tell is that I'm a son of God. And the way my life has been going since the day I was born, guys, it's really, really interesting, sometimes frustrating, sometimes sad, sometimes happy and good, but it's all life. That's what we go through and we live in life. And the most one thing that one has to know is that regardless of what's coming your way, you gotta keep moving. And that's what I learned myself. Like, I don't know if I should say I learned myself or it just happened through me being me, you understand? I always advise people to be them and do them. So I'm born 2003 on February the 28th. Okay, why not the 29th? Who knows? I was born maybe on the 29th, and then they just couldn't let me be on a leap year because leap year occurs every after 4 years after it occurred. You know, like 2024, it's a leap year, and I feel like this is the year to to make more, and like leave some history behind. Guys, since the day I was born, I was really lost up in life, being raised from by grandparents, and that really like had a mind shift in my mind, because I never really knew who is my father nor my mother. I would only see them in pictures and maybe over the phone. And I used to call my grandma mom, my grandpa dad, and it went on and on since from the year 2000. Yeah, I think 2003, after 8 months, took me from my mom, and my mom had to go on with her dreams and continue wherever she worked as a medical clinic assistant in Cape Town. So to me, I never really experienced that mother love from my younger age. Sadly, I started experiencing it around 2016 later on when I was around 13 years of age. So I just want to give you guys a quick recap of my background during that period without my parents, what I went through and what happened in my life. I was raised in Danielskuil in the Northern Cape, small town called Danielskuil in the Northern Cape. And in this town, it's more like those apartheid era towns whereby uh, everybody is separated. Like there's one road that separates the Kasi and the town. So me growing up there, I grew up speaking Afrikaans a lot of time. Ek kan praat, ek praat glad and smaklik. So it was really a time whereby I got exposed to agriculture, because that was my grandpa's number one side hustle, like not really a side hustle, but number one investment. He was a farmer. We had our own farm. We had around 30 to 50 cattle on the farm. Yeah, we was dealing with cattle only. So I was spending most of my weekends at the farm. I didn't really grow up as that boy who had a lot of friends. I started being social. Yeah, after I started, yeah, when I went on my primary school days around grade 7 and 8, that's when like I started to get involved and like into me being me. Me growing up with that kind of routine every weekend at a farm. Most of the time when I'm at my home, like at the house, I'll be doing home chores. I'll be cleaning, washing dishes, even clothes, ironing. Like I knew how to cook. Like surely at the age of 10, I started doing my home chores. And I wouldn't say they were slaving me or what, but they taught me how to be a man. My grandpa's name is Pete Hudisamang, and I learned a lot from that old man of mine. He was so low key, humble, didn't really have friends, like he was just focused on his job. He had a job, a 9 to 5, but then after that, he's heading out to his farm, giving the cattle their meals and water, and even making sure they're still safe, everything is secured. So it was a really great experience while they were alive. Sad part of it all is that I couldn't reach the age 18 or 21st while they are alive, or show them who I am at this age. I lost my grandpa 2012 October. It was never like a great thing to lose him. It was like the end of my world, like literally, because after my grandpa's death, I could really see like who really cared for me in the family. Uh, I grew up around three uncles, Jimmy, Kevin, and Tlamelo. And Tlamelo had an elder son, which is my cousin Amo. We were most of the time together, like growing up until grandpa died. After grandpa's passing away, like my granny, I don't know, could, can I say it's frustrations or loneliness, but she started taking out all her frustrations on me. I was barely abused, like I was really abused, like not barely, but I was really abused. Like I started feeling it's abusive, verbally. I couldn't just go visit my cousin. It was wrong to her. I couldn't just go out without telling them. I understand. It's every parent's responsibility to know where their son at or boy at, but it was too much. It was really too much. And me, myself, and I decided on that day, this day came, and my my grandma was really shouting at me like like a lot of things. I don't know should I mention it, but I'll just mention it because it's my audiobook. You know, uh, guys, I was shouted like I don't have a father. My father since I was born, he was sent for Pampers, and then he ran away since he was gone. That's the kind of words I was hearing. My mother, she was here, like she's in Kathu, hoeing, like doing prostitutes and stuff like that. living off man. It was heartbreaking words, and like I heard all that at the age of 13. Like I was crying literally, like I'm old enough right now. I can't cry, but I can, it's just things that I managed to heal over, when time went by. So that day, my uncle came out, Jimmy, from work, asked the granny why she's yelling at me. And like he didn't really listen to the story, like, because me too, when I remember really well, I got beaten for just visiting my cousin, and maybe I didn't do my home chores, maybe to water her flowers, her plants, and that. But then the way it happened, like Jimmy spilled the tea on me, like started took off his belt, whipping my ass, and I was crying, literally crying, and with all that information that I've been told about my parents, I felt like it was better to choose them rather than this life of every time being beaten, being shouted, being thrown words at, And for me, it was a really tough moment, because I had to make a choice. And since that day, I made a choice. I stood up crying and asked them both and told them straight in their faces, guys, if you guys feel you're fed up of me because this behavior is being like it's been starting since the grandpa passed away. So I could see you guys don't have no love for me actually. He's the only one actually who held you guys down to be the same family with me. So with all this happening, can you guys please give me my mom because she is still alive, you know. Mm. Guys, you think I'm lying. It's just that back then I didn't have a phone of me, but my mom can be my witness, you know. She will like she will be my witness because guys, when she saw me, she literally burst in tears, just because of the situation, how it was when I traveled to her. Guys, 6 a.m. in the morning, after that night, in the morning, 6 a.m., I woke up, my clothes, everything I had packed in bag, plastic bag, like black garbage bags, like it was like four, yeah, 3 or 4 black garbage bags that my clothes were in and books. Guys, it was really a heartbreaking moment for me, growing up in that house, knowing them as my family, my mom, my brothers, my uncles, they were like my elder brothers. Uh, it was really sad, and for me, it asked me like, dear God, who am I to go through all this, because you created me in your image. Who am I to go through all this? I pray I had a greater purpose for me going through this. From that prayer in the morning, I woke up, took all my garbage bags. They already told the taxi driver where he should drop me off. Called my mom. They were yelling over the phone. I didn't know what they were yelling about, but obviously it was about me. So it happened that I walked off, climbed on a taxi with my black cabbage bags. I was like crying the whole way from Danielskuil to Kuruma. I stopped crying the moment when I had to like face people now and stand up. Along the way, I just kept on praying and praying while tears full in my eyes. I came out fine, seeing my mom at a four-way when I stepped out of the taxi with my black cabbage bags. Like the look on my mom's face, like just to see her burst in tears. Guys, it was really painful. I could see the hurt in her eyes, and for me too, like growing up from that, going through that, it was really a new experience, because I couldn't even say mom to her. It was hard. I would just say ma, 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 but deep down I wanted to say mom, ma, but I just said ma. So I really didn't know how to start and accept that she's my mom. I went on, she carried me, gave me a hug. She went into pep store, bought new bags, like clothing bags, cloth bags, like, and she took out my stuff out of those plastic bags and put it in this new bags with colors and stuff. And then that's when I moved from Danielskuil to Kathu. And guys, me getting here in Kathu, I'm just gonna give you this intro of me just getting in Kathu and the differences. Getting in Kathu, came here in a small like township, not really township, but yeah, small location, Kasi called Mapoteng, and coming in here, my mom has rented. She has a one room container shanty, I could say, and like I had to lay my mattress and sleep on the floor. By then, I'm doing grade 8, sleep on the floor. It's in shanty. I'm to a big home, my own room, my own TV, my own small refrigerator with all my snacks and juices. Like life changed in a blink of an eye. That's when I believe that any time is tea time. And from there, guys, I started changing, the way I'm thinking. Like I started seeing what's life. Like from that transition from living in a rich family and then back to like a lower standard of living, I could say. My grandpa wasn't really rich, but then he could afford my needs and my wants. We was living a good life, and came back here. I'm used to driving. Like I was driving at a young age. Like my dad, my granny, like, oh no, sorry guys, I'm just balled up in emotion. I wish to just go further with the story, but feel like crying. But no, I might cry after part 1. You know, shooting this part 1. But guys, I did a lot. It was so different. Dancing, going out on shows. When I've asked to go, grew up with a lot of dances in the scale, hip hop dancing. Like that's when I was really into the culture of hip hop, the music, the dance. And then that's when I would drive, like I take one of the cars, drive to the events, and then if I know I'll be drinking, I'll already call my elder uncle to come and pick the car if they in need of it. and for him to come and pick me up after the event, So coming this side, everything it changed. My mom has no car. Like I don't know where can I start. Like guys, a lot changed. We used to be like doing extraordinary things. Used to be laying on my own bed, playing PlayStation. You know, but nah, it all changed. Never really had to know that I had a sister. I knew that I had a sister when I was young, but I never saw her again when I was young. Like, I started only to see her 2016, live with her, and started to build that bond. But at first it was hard, because we were fighting time and time and again. Mommy this, mama that. No, mommy this one is taking my advantage. This one took my phone charger. A lot, a lot, a lot. So until I had to finally accept who am I and my current situation, what it was. So guys, please, please, let's take this video, like let's take this audiobook to 1K likes and subscribe. Plus, we on our road to 1K, and this will be my part 1 of the story. Part 1 from childhood until 2016 when I moved to Kathu. In in that in that last words, guys, I'll start my journey in Kathu in part 2, going on forward. So without any further ado, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace. I adore you guys. Subscribe. This will really mean a lot to me. Your subscription will really mean a lot to me, guys. And I wish you all the best. And stay tuned. There is a lot that you gotta hear about me. And still, I really don't know who I am. All I know is that my identity name's Theo Titus Tupai, and that's it. Because when it comes to talent, it's a lot. I can't say I can't stick into one thing. Like I've always been versatile. That's why I'm a self-made developing trillionaire. Peace out.